Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to Munchkin, the collectible card game. This is video part 2. If you haven't checked out part 1, feel free to go ahead and check that one out. I kind of go over a little bit of the gameplay and basics of the game. Nowhere near how to play or anything. Just you have an understanding of what the cards look like when you're going over them. And then in this one, we'll just start jumping in. We already did several packs, I think like 5 or 6 packs. So we'll do a couple more, and then we will probably end up having to maybe do a third video. So each pack has 12 cards. There are usually about 3 commons in a rare, but as we've seen in video 1, there can sometimes be 2 commons in a rare. There can sometimes be 5. One pack we had 4 uncommons, 1 rare, 1 very rare, and a variant. Another pack we had a rare, a variant, and a special. We've destroyed this card rare, just like a super ultra rare type card. So there's a bunch of different ways to go about it. So, all right, let's hop into pack 1. We have Stuff Shaming, the Paladin. Stick this to target Luke, bleeding 1. So take 1 damage during the reckoning step. I'm just going to kind of skip over cards. I went over in the first video, so if you're wondering why I didn't read a card like Stick to Suffering or Gazebo, it's because I went over them in the first one. So if you want to see more of the text or listen to me talk about each card, check out that video. We have the 11-foot pole, which is a generic card. I love that there's a pole with 11 feet on there. There's actually 11 feet on there. Just a 1/1, not bad. We have the Inflatable Dragon. I think each class gets a dragon card, which is kind of cool. If you overpaid for this, it gains 2 attack for the spike. If you overinflated it. We have a Whack-a-Mole. Let's have Whack-a-Mole. Maul is the hammer. Smack, zap this during your turn to deal 1 damage to target hero or stashed monster. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's not 1 damage, isn't much, but getting it to finish off something could be very helpful. Okay, so this is cool. So we got Healing Salvo, which we had in the last video. So here is the regular version, and here is the X variant version. So you can see they just extended the art out a little bit. Not even too much, really. Like it's not like a full art card. Because if I actually just move it like that, it's basically about the same. Like they maybe pulled it back a little bit or zoomed in a little bit, so it's bigger. But it doesn't take up all of the card to have all this stuff on there. So it's kind of a neat idea. But I'm not going to argue. We have a very rare. So sometimes these show up before the uncommons. Unnatural Acts, which is of course the second set in Munchkin. Zap your hero, deal 1 damage to target ally. Okay, so that's cool. We have Pawn Pull, PWN, or Pwn, being, defeating a weak character. When you squish a monster in a fight, take 1 money and deal 1 damage to target hero. We have DJ Tim again, which is always fun. All the Blades, RPG online game reference. Look to your deck and choose a weapon card, reveal it, move it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Yep, definitely something a warrior would want to do. And then our rare is Home of the Brave, which we've already seen. Alright, so we'll hop into our next pack. Alright, we have, starting off, we have Blood Geyser, which you've seen before. Oh, the Purple Lucas. The Black Lotus is a card Magic Gather. It's one of the most powerful cards. Gets you like free mana. Play cards. This one says zap, take 1 damage, take 1 money, then squish this. Yeah, so it basically uses itself up pretty quick, but it's a fun references. Leg Breaker Joe, Irresistible Disco, the Vanilla Mental, Lame Goblin. If we keep this up, we're not going to have to have a third video. The Hairy Scary Beast, Monster Beast. You squish target loot controlled by the defender that was not committed to this fight. Okay, that's kind of cool. Get rid of your opponent doesn't use it, you can get rid of one of their cards. Definitely neat. In alt art, because again it has the X on the bottom, first thing is the Chainsaw Bloody Dismemberment. Now the one had like full artwork. This one just has, we'll have to see if it's actually different artwork or if it's just black and white. It could just be a black and white picture, which is kind of neat. Our next uncommon is Red Tunic. Use when a mischief deals damage to you. Zap, prevent all damage dealt to you by this mischief, and then squish this. This is an interrupt. This is, of course, a reference to Star Trek with the red shirts, who red shirts always go on missions. They are the first to die. So this is, yeah, the Red Tunic. Next uncommon is Spiky Bit. Switch this to target weapon. That weapon gains 1 damage. Nice. Just shove a nail through something. Would have been funnier if they had it shoved through something that wasn't a board. Like if he had it shoved through like an axe or a sword or something that wouldn't make sense to have a nail in it necessarily. But again, it's a wizard. Why would a wizard be carrying one of those? The Aura of Wildness or Wilderness. We've seen that before. And My Little Ponies. So My Little Pony reference. With a Survivor, squish target monster in Defender's stash. Awesome, definitely cool. Alright, we're gonna hop right into the next one. We're gonna start with Scorch. Where was that? Oh, art. I'm gonna set that one aside so if we find the regular. We've seen that one before. So we have Honest Alice Casino, another location. During each hero's reckoning step, that hero rolls the die. 1. All heroes spill 1. Move 1 card from the top of the deck to the discard pile. 2 to 5, all heroes take 1 coin. Or 6, all heroes draw 1 card. Yeah, so definitely kind of cool. I wonder, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm wondering if the thief is going to have some way to manipulate the dice. I would imagine they would. If not in this set, maybe an expansion. The Pygmy Sycophant. Pygmy usually being a small version of a creature. And like elephant, except a sycophant is like a fanatic. So it's kind of like a mixture of all these are. Plus he has suck because he has life o suction, which lets you heal when you do damage. The Automatic Machine Bow. Put a coin in and it fires money. Pay 1 to unzap this. So that's kind of neat. So you can just keep, as long as you have money, you can keep using it. We have the Bullwhip, which is a whip that has a bull on the end. Monstrous 2, and this is committed to a fight. It is a 2 money, 2 attack, 2 health monster card. Its type card changes to monster and it has no other ability. Oh, so that's kind of cool. So you could turn this into a monster instead of having it be a defense weapon. That's kind of neat. Stick of Suffering. The Flaming Armor. Zap prevents up to 3 damage dealt to you by to your hero by target monster. This is an interrupt. So I'm kind of curious why they didn't put interrupt somewhere on the card, like as an ability. I know it would have been a little bit tricky to put it in there as well, but like maybe they just had another symbol somewhere on there would have been kind of nice. But oh well. We have another variant. We have a full art. We have Nope. Prevent up to 3 damage. 2 for each damage prevented this way. Deal 1 damage to any target. Well, that's definitely a fun ability. The Bow of Called Shots. You threw a target on the monster. It's our first uncommon. Zap, deal 1 damage to target stashed monster. Nice. Gonna defeat some of them guys. We have another common mixed in there for some reason. We have Chunky Flunky, who's an ally. It says you cannot commit this to a fight unless you pay 1. So you have to pay 1 no matter what to get him, but he also has 5 defense, which is not bad. Our uncommon here is Tax Heaven. During each hero's reckoning step, that hero takes 1 damage and gains 1 coin. And then our rare is another Munchkin monster, the Wright Brothers Dungeon. The Wright kind of being like ghosts, and then the Wright Brothers being like reference to the famous brothers of the flying machines, the airplanes. When this comes into play, if there's a copy of this card in your discard pile, squish this. When a monster survives the fight, take 1 damage. So there's some locations that have that ability, so basically it makes them unique. And again, it's one of the things where I wonder why they didn't just have it be, you can only have 1 copy of this, like in your deck, like a one per deck limit, because it would have solved having to have that extra giant bunch of text. Because I don't know why else, like what else are you going to do with these cards? Because once you played one, it's out, fine, but like once it just destroyed it's in your discard pile, you have a second one. You have another one in your hand, I don't know what you would really do with it. Like why would you could play multiple so you could find them quicker, but once you have multiple in your hand, what do you do with the extra copies is sort of what I mean. Interesting. What would a Munchkin game be without the Curse of Quack? So we always have to have a Duck of Doom somewhere in here. Here's where I wish they had some flavor text, because it would always say, you know, something about why is there a duck in the dungeon, or never pick up a duck in the dungeon. Stick this to target loot. That loot cannot unzap. So that's kind of fun. We have another Heart of Cards. We have another Vampire Tat. Biodegradable Armor. Just some cardboard boxes. Zap prevent with 3 damage to your hero, and then squish this. This is an interrupt. Wombo-backed RNGs. We got good old Glass Jaw, who's a boxer dinosaur with a literal glass jaw. Glass Jaw being typically a boxing reference, but it's also just a fighting in general, meaning that someone that might be sort of powerful, but they can only take 1 hit. So again, giant T-Rex with 3 attack and stealthy, but if he gets hit, he's going down because he has 1 health. Squigzilla, Tax Heaven, all the blades. So then our next one, we have a variant, we have Squirrel. Flaunt, tired target monster named Moose gains 3 attack for this fight, discard this. Oh, Moose and Squirrel. I hope there's an alt art like this for Moose. And then our last one is the Catapult, which is our rare. He's going to launch a Panther. This deals damage in a fight. You may discard a monster. If you do, deal 3 damage to target monster. This is an interrupt. That's funny. You may discard a monster to throw it at somebody else. That is my kind of game. Alright, next pack, we have another Leecher. Not bad getting something like this because it gains 1 for each Leecher in your stash. Of course, being, again, a trading card game versus a regular game, having multiples of these cards is generally good so you can build a better deck. We have Crashing Burn. Deal 2 damage to target stash monster. Give blood 2. When you play this, you may also take 2 damage to activate this ability. Remove that monster from the game instead. Oh, so that could be very powerful. Ian McGinty, he's done a lot of Munchkin art as well. He has some really cool art styles. I'm not mentioning other artists. It's not because, hey, I don't think they're talented or whatever. I just don't recognize their name for whatever reason. And sorry to all the colorists, because I probably recognize your names even less, so sorry. But yeah, this is definitely a neat card. Take out that guy, but you can just straight up get rid of them. Another biodegradable armor, Glass Jaw. We have Bertha, who has a giant shield. She's some sort of Valkyrie. Nothing extra special, but again, you need them common, easy to play cards. Hammer Time, a giant hammer with a clock on it. Just a powerful loot weapon. The Ban Hammer, another RPG term, which you always called when they get rid of something from a game. You call it using the Ban Hammer. When this is committed to a fight, the hired monster is squished. The attacker spills 3, can move top 3 cards from the deck to the discard pile. Ooh, so that's kind of nice because if you defeat the monster, also eliminate some of their deck. Our first uncommon. Ooh, that's a very rare card too, a V. I didn't even notice that at first. We have the Staff of SRSBSNS. Serious business? I'm guessing? I'm not entirely sure. I've never seen it as an acronym, but it's really a staff. So there's this TPS reports. I always wish you had a red stapler. That would have been even funnier. But yeah, I definitely got a cool one. Our next uncommon is the Avenging Apostle. When you take damage from a monster, unzap this. Oh, sweet. We have a Explodia Ring Finger. So in the first video, we had one of the other Explodia Fingers, which is of course a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. For each trinket in your hoard, reduce the gold cost of this by 1. Cool, so you can make them even cheaper. We still have yet to see a card that brings them all together. And then our rare card is the Censor of Censoring. So censors that can't glowing, or not glowing orb, the orb with the mist coming out of it. Loot trinket, use on your turn. Zap. All heroes ignore the ability of target loot until your cooldown. This card cannot be chosen as the target of this ability. Okay, cool. So you can turn off all heroes target loot till the end of the turn. Definitely a unique effect for our paladin friend. Alright, so our next set is we have another Crash and Burn. We have RNGs again. Barbarian Librarian. Robe of Retribution. Armor Loot. You may use this ability only at the end of the fight with a monster damage you. Zap to deal 2 damage to that monster. So cool. You can get some payback. Stuff Shaming. We have Freebird. This is a bird playing guitar. When this is hired, all committed gold is moved to your purse. Cool. Because it's free. So it costs a lot. So that's actually kind of funny because basically you could really mess with your opponent on this because you could overpay a bunch. And then they might be like, oh, he paid 6 gold. I don't have anything to deal with that, or I don't want to commit enough stuff to that. And then you'll get hired, and then all your gold can go back to your pile. Or just as an example, we have Dr. Malpractice, which is like a bad thing to happen. When using you are healed. Zap, deal 1 damage to target opponent. This is an interrupt. Oh, so that's cool. So the paladin has a bunch of healing abilities, and now you can use this to also do damage back to them. Our first uncommon actually ends up being a variant art. We have the Elvish Impersonator. Deal 3 damage to target monster in Monsters 3, becomes a 3/3/3 monster. Cool. So this one's a Mischief Treachery. Like the other one was a weapon. This is actually a mischief card. We have I Want It All. Draw 2 cards. Encore. So resolving, discard it. Stash it instead of discarding it. Card advantage is always good. Our next uncommon is Good Samaritan. When this is squished, each hero gains 2 money. Not bad at all. So as he died back there and starts throwing money out at everybody. Our next uncommon is the Shiny Manipulator. Look, it's a gold encrusted, gem encrusted claw grabber. Is grabbing an axe that is taped up or glued with another baby axe. That is funny. I hope that axe is one of the cards. Zap, untap target weapon you control. And our rare for this set is Fizz Bangle Minster. Again, I'm sure this is a reference to something, but I don't know specifically. Used when playing a mischief. Zap, deal 1 damage to all allies and monsters. This is an interrupt. Now, keep in mind though, it says all. You are part of all. What do we have left in here for packs? We still have a decent amount. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Alright, we'll probably just finish them up this video. It might run a little bit long, but I think we're going to start getting enough duplicates. We have 10 packs left to go. Alright, so let's just jump into them. We have Crusty Disgusty, which we've seen. We have the Danger Zone. When this card comes into play, Zap. When any hero plays a mischief with a gold cost of 2 or more, that hero takes 1 damage, or takes 1 coin. Cool. The Alpha Wolf. This gains 1 attack for each monster in your stash. We have Amscray. When checking for cheating, reduce the attack of target monster to 0 for this fight. Cool. Alms for the Poor. Play it only when you have no gold. Take 2 coin, then your opponent takes 1. Yes, you just spent everything. You can get some of your money back to play something. We have the Holier Symbol, Pied Piper, a variant card, or very, very rare card. Crown of Crazy. Use only when one of your monsters is squished. Zap your hero card, move that monster to your hand instead of the discard pile. This is an interrupt. Uncommon, we have Earworm. Sing the name of this card out loud. Sing the name of this card out loud. Your opponent sings the name of this card back to you. You each draw 1 card. If your opponent does not, you each spill 1. Move 1 card from the top of your deck to the discard pile. Okay, that's kind of neat. So far it's only been 1 card like this. I don't mind it. I don't generally like cards in games like this that add non-gaming actions to the games. I get they're kind of supposed to be jokey or fun. I don't mind doing them, but like you get a group of people that don't want to, like then the game kind of it breaks down a bit. So hopefully they don't have a ton of those. Hillbilly Ogre. That's funny. The defender is bleeding. Reduce the gold cost of this card by 2. He's actually pretty costly. Our next uncommon is a location, the Just Desert. Instead of Just Desserts, it's just the desert. Each hero's reckoning step. Hero targets his stash monster. This deals 2 damage to that monster. Nice. And then our rare card is Dr. Feelbag. Move 1 damage from target hero to any other hero. Okay, that's cool. So you can move your stuff around, heal yourself. Good. Or if you're playing a multiplayer game, it would definitely mess with one of your opponents, or the other opponents as well. Instead of just yourself. That's kind of cool. Alright, up next we have Lame Goblin. Grody Roadies, Amscray, Field Armorer, Boobazilla. I said that wrong. Why can't I think of how it's exactly pronounced? It is the horn they use a lot of times in soccer games. The Vuzilla, whatever. I'm not going to try again. Each time you play a mischief, collect 1. Take 1 token to the stockpile. Zap, move 2 tokens from this card to the stockpile. Deal 1 damage to any target. Okay, cool. So every time you play a mischief, you put a coin on here. Then you can remove 2 to deal 1 damage. You can build it up for a while, but, you know, neat. Belt Buckler. The Dagger of Treachery. Literally stabbing her in the back. When you're caught cheating, collect 1. Place on it gains 1 attack for each token on it. When this damages a monster, return all tokens to the damage stockpile. Okay, so that's neat. The other one takes time to build up, but then you can do extra damage. This is kind of neat. It gets more powerful, but once you use it, it goes away. There's the full art for Dr. Meow Practice. I'm not going to try and dig him out to see what he looked like, but that's definitely cool. We have the Leprechaun, another classic Munchkin monster. So instead of a leprechaun like the Irish one, he's a leper, meaning his body parts are falling off. X equals the amount of gold committed to this card when it is hired. Ooh, so the more you spend, the more powerful it is. Our next uncommon is another Just Desert. We have the Trollinator, of course a Terminator reference. A troll also being a popular card for Magic, or for Munchkin. Popular monster, I should say. Pay 1 to regenerate. Very simple. Just helps you survive. And then our rare card is our third finger. We have Explodia's Pinky. Monster and finger. Well, this is in your stash. It deals 1 damage to your opponent each time they are caught cheating. He has a teacup by him because he's holding his pinky finger up. That's funny. That's our third Explodia card, so hopefully we get the rest of them. Alright, before we open the next pack, we're going to look at an OA, which is basically a box card. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. So you buy the actual full booster box, you get a special card. This is one of them. This is the Goldfish Wanderer. So this is his special hero you can play as with 20 health. Notice he does not have any class abilities, so you can't use one of the classes with him. So that's definitely a fun, neat little bonus you get from buying a full booster box. I don't know if he's the only one or if it was random. It says move 1 card from your discard pile to the bottom of your deck. So basically you can keep regenerating his health, which is kind of neat. So we're going to set him off to the side as well. Now let's look at our next pack of cards. We have Plea Bargaining, which we've seen. Blandy McBlanderson. Rawr. We have Shrieking Fangs. For this fight, this gains 1 attack for each face down card in your stash. Nice. So you can gain some nice powerful bonuses. We have these Salt Elementals, which are second elemental. If the defender committed a weapon, this gains +5 for the fight. Interesting. I'm not sure why that has to do with Salt, but definitely neat. Beelzebub. Our first uncommon is the Toll Dragon. Like I said, I think every class has a dragon. When checking for cheating, the defender may pay any amount of gold to the stockpile. For each gold the defender pays, reduce the attack of this monster by 2. Cool. So basically the defender can choose to make this guy really easy to beat, but it's going to cost them a lot of gold, which will reduce what they get to do during their turn. There we have another Human Wizard card. So this is a alt art rare for one of the heroes. It's all, I believe they're alt art. I have to double check. We had one in the first video as well. But it also lets you, in case you didn't buy a starter set, you have access to these characters. So Zap, reduce the gold cost of the next mischief you play this turn by 1. You know, it's such a rare, but it's going to come before our uncommon. Another Explodia's Ringfinger, another Shiny Manipulator, a Book of Axe, which is a book that has a giant axe on built into it. Monstrous 6 becomes a 6/6/6 monster and changes to monster, so that's actually pretty cool. And then finally we have Stomp, Stomp, Stomp for our rare. Play when your runaway marker shows runaway. Squish all the loot and then flip your runaway marker to show limp away. That's kind of neat. So you can basically get rid of a bunch of loot for the cost of not being able to just run away later, or for free at least. Definitely a neat ability. Alright, our next pack. Another Beelzebub. We have Chopsticks. where she's throwing piano keys, because you play the chopsticks on the piano. When this is committed to a fight and the monster is hired, roll the dice. Plus 1 to 3 squishes, 4 to 6 roll the die has no effect. Just basically, if you get high, you get to keep it around. You still have some keys to throw. If you roll 1 to 3, it means you ran out of keys. Type of idea. Plea bargain. Shrieking Fans. Irresistible Disco. Barbarian the Librarian. Squidzilla. Cheaters Never Win. Our first uncommon is Funny-Coon. So I'm guessing kind of like Looney Coon. Maybe Phony. I'm not really sure. But he's like, Bemis says, if you overpaid for this, deal 1 damage to target opponent. So nice, you did some extra damage. We have the Bane of Plains we've seen. We have an alt art for Belt Buckler. There's some full art, which is always fun. And our rare is Gecko Gorgon, who has Sketchy. When this deals damage in a fight, hero must each spill 6 from 6 cards from the top of their deck to their discard pile. So definitely powerful. Especially because, again, your deck runs out, you lose the game. But it's also each hero, so remember, it'll also affect you as well. Alright, our next pack, we're going to start with Kaboom. Automatic Machine Bow. Flaming Armor, Curse of Quack. Here we go. You can see that axe we were talking about first, the Hydrax, like Hydra, but it's an axe. When you gain a level, collect 1. This token gains 1. Or this gains 1 attack for each token on it. It's just kind of neat. It looks like each class has 1 ability that has like a collect ability. We have Dogpile, Blandy McBlanderson, a Centaur Warrior. So now we've had 3 of the 5 or 6 classes. So this comes into play. Zap. Zap deal 1 damage to target hero or monster. Land War Elf. This is a Magic the Gathering reference again. So they have a very common. We see Magic a lot of times. There's a green elf called Langle War Elves, which is an area, the Langle War area forest. Which lets you produce extra mana. So if you play stuff, so this says look to your deck for a card named Land, reveal it, move it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So Land War Elf. I don't know how many cards have land in them, but that's definitely pretty funny. Our next uncommon is another Hot Potato. A common Smug who got mixed in there. And then Exodia's Pinkies. So hey, we might make 2 Exodia hands if we get super lucky. I'd like to get the other 2 to see what they do. Alright, so let's hop into another pack. We got a couple more to go. We have Walking Dreads. So, Walking Dead, but they're dreadlocks. Pay 1 to regenerate. Very simple. Discount Cudgel. When this deals damage, roll a die. 1 to 2 squish it at the end of the fight. 3 to 6 deals no damage. Plus it has 0, which is actually very nice. Not very powerful, but you know, it doesn't take up space in your loot. Hammer Time. Crushing Ink. Play during a fight. Target weapon or monster gains 2 attack for this fight. Definitely helpful. Another Freebird. Our first uncommon mixed in here, you have a Troll Dragon. Go back to our commons. We have a Robe of Retribution. You may use this ability only at the end of the fight in which it monsters damage you. Okay, we've seen that one. Alt art for RNGs, where it's just colorless. Bane of Plains. Next uncommon. Combat Cove location. When this comes into play, all monsters gain Survivor. And then deal 1 damage to target hero or monster. Definitely cool. That's some neat artwork too. Next uncommon, Staff of Cirrus Business. And our last one is Rash Barkbelly, which is an X. This is an alternate art. But this is another one of our dragons. I think we've had 4 of the 6 dragons now. When Unless the attacker takes 2 damage when he is hired. So yeah, kind of costly. You take a hit for it, but he is pretty powerful. Alright, what do we got in our next pack? We have Beagle Scout. Monstrous 1. Which is committed, becomes a 1/1/1 monster. So that's probably not bad. Flaming Armor. Honest Alice Casino. Used Card Dealer. Alpha 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 Wolf. Whack-a-Mole. Here's a new one. Can't touch this. Of course, there's a dance. The Bard has lots of dance cards that reference song lyrics. Move this damage from your hero to target stash monster, and then Encore. We also have Jam Session. Stick this to target weapon in your opponent's horde. That opponent now controls this card. When this weapon is zapped, target opponent must draw 1 card. Interesting. Important jam on, literally jam on them. Our first uncommon is the Leprechaun. Our second one is Bumbles. When the opponent squishes this, the opponent spills 2. We just saw him in that other card. Full art for Crushing It. And our rare is another Dr. Feelbag, which is of course a reference to Dr. Feelgood. Alright, down to 4 packs. And we still have some we haven't seen. There's a lot of cards in this set, so because it's a base set, so it makes sense. Smite Unseen. When a fight has been declared, move the attacker's committed card to the owner's discard pile. Then move all committed gold to the attacker's purse. Basically, cool. So basically, you can, well, if they actually have a fight, you can actually just stop them from doing it. The Harry Kick. If you overpay for this, stash target loot. Okay, cool. Get them out there and stop the things from doing it. Here's the Chainsaw Bloody Dismemberment. So this is actually kind of interesting. So there's the alt art version, and there's the regular version. So it actually zoomed it in on the regular one and then colored it. So it's kind of like, this is like almost like the sketch drawing, and then that's kind of like a different art. And you see like 2 different colorists on there, so it's kind of neat. Kind of neat that 2 different people doing different coloring maybe on the same artwork can have a different effect as well. We have, Chainsaw Bloody Dismemberment, of course, a big common card from the Munchkin games, the originals. Shrieking Fan, the Ferrous Oxide Monster. So again, another classic Munchkin monster. Also known as the Rust Monster. At the end of this fight, squish target committed weapon. Troll. So there's a fake troll. Cancel target mischief card. Plea Bargain. Lame Goblin. Our first uncommon. We have Book of Axe. We have the Rain of Death. Raining Dagger. Lightning Bolt shaped daggers. That's kind of funny. Deal 1 damage to all heroes, allies, and stashed monsters. So yeah, you might take some damage, but it could be definitely worth it to hurt some other opponents. The 1%. And then our rare is the Deep Stone. Zap, spill 1, move card from the top of the deck to the discard pile, deal 1 damage to target stashed monster. So this is like a statue of a geek. The geek is Shrieking Geek, actually, from the original Munchkin game. I also wonder if it's supposed to be a reference to Millstone, actually gathering card, which makes you take a card off the top of your deck to your discard pile. So it's kind of a double-ended one there. Double-ended, whatever. Alright, 3 packs to go. Let's keep going through these. We have Combo Rat. We have Starstruck. Jam Session. Boots of Butt Kicking, an item from Munchkin. Very old card. Zap, deal 1 damage to target stash monster. Use Card Dealer, Spin Kick. Troll. There's our Elf Beefs. Now we have, I think, 4 of the 6 heroes. Zap, draw 2 cards, and move 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. We have Coin Elemental. Flip this card like a coin from the height of at least 1 meter above the game area. If it lands face up, deal 1 damage to any target. If this lands face down, take 1 damage. Very interesting. Kind of also interesting that it's not a thief card. You thought that would have had that elemental, but, you know, what do I know? Pawn Pole, Leprechaun, and our rare, which looks like that's Franz there, has dead weights. If this is coming into a fight and the higher monster is squished, collect 1, and it gains 1 attack for each coin on it. Definitely fun idea. Alright, 2 more packs. Still hoping for those last 2 Explodia cards. You never know what's going to happen. We have Punchy McFacey, which is like a 10 from Street Fighter looking character, but his pompadour hair is also a fist. Hide 1 token from the stockpile in 1 of your fists. The defender must choose a fist. If the defender finds a token, move it to your hero card. If not, move it to the defender's hero card. Cool. So give them a token for using somewhere else. We have Whacked. Target hero discards 1 card at random. Mugsy, survivor, steal 1 coin from the defender. It's kind of good. We're getting towards the end. We're getting some cards we've had. Scorched, Lame Goblin, Chopsticks, Biodegradable Armor, full art for Stewer, which is an X rarity, of course. Big Baby Bandage, Phoebe Cooney, Pinata, which is a pinata filled with dynamite. If this is squished by a monster fight, squish that monster. The Dungeon of Dragons, it's of course a reference to Dungeon and Dragons. All heroes skip the flip step of their warm-up phase. Ooh, that could be very bad. So what's the flip step do? Flip your runaway marker if necessary. Ooh, so get rid of your runaway ability. Alright, that's the locations. That's kind of fun too. And generics, it can be used anywhere. And our last pack, let's hope for some really cool cards in here. Crushionate, Walking Dreads, Sulk Elemental, Bod E-Guard. When this is squashed, you may squish any card stuck to your hero. Discount Cudgel. Mugsy Sap, Smack. Zap during this to deal 1 damage to target hero or stashed monster. Smite Unseen, another Skewer. Our uncommons, we have Relentless Slobber Beast, another DJ Tim. Bank Demon. I got coins all over them. When this is squished, take 1 coin. And our final card is Mosh Pit. Take 2 damage, then deal 1 damage to all allies. So definitely cool. So before I end the video, I'm just going to grab my collection, and I just want to look at the heroes to see if they're alternate arts or not, and look at some of that stuff. 1 minute. Alright. There's tons of different cards I could show off, like I didn't have in here, because I have a lot more cards in the set, or just show off different things. But I don't want to go through all of them, at least in this video. Again, if you're maybe interested, let me know in the comments. About seeing some of the other sets. There's 3 other sets to this game. I have a decent amount of each set. Not full sets yet. But if you want to see more of this set, I can either buy more boosters or just go through the set unboxing if you want to just see all the different cards. Again, I don't have every card. But that's it. So this was the variant hero we had in the box, in the booster pack. It is a rarity. And then this is the H version, which is the hero which comes in this starter set. So if you buy a starter set, you will get this artwork instead. So you see they're kind of very similar, but again, very different as well. But same abilities. Well, actually, it's slightly different. Unless they just messed up that one, because it says it comes into play zapped, and the other one doesn't. I wonder if that's... I think that's just a mistake they had on the card, because looking at the human wizard, It has the same exact effect. The Elf Thief has the same effect as well. So I think that was probably just an error they missed. Now there is a third variant as well, because I mentioned in the first video, if you're buying the starter sets, there is one you can buy that has all 6 characters in one set. It's the intro set, and it also has some extra boosters that has a different hero in there. I don't know if it has different artwork than one of these, or it's just labeled as a different card. So I'm not for sure. So the last card I did want to show off that I didn't have in this set was Eric the Jerk. And I only want to show this off because we did show off the Kova card, which is based off John Kolblack, who designed and created Munchkin. This is Eric Lang, who is one of the designers. It's him and Kevin Wilson. I don't know if there's a Kevin Wilson card in here. I didn't see one in my collection, but that doesn't mean that maybe I didn't miss it as a reference somewhere else, or I just don't own that card. I'm just double checking quick. But yeah, that's kind of funny. So we have Eric the Jerk as a card, also represented as one of the characters. One of the creators of the game. So it's the creator of this game, like where John Kolblack designed Munchkin. Eric Lang was one of the basic designers for the card game, and he's done lots of other games as well. So I just kind of thought that was an interesting little thing to point out. Alright, that is what we had for Munchkin, the card game, the collectible card game. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments again if you'd like to see more of these videos. Hopefully I get some of the other Munchkin stuff posted out there. Or if you have questions, I can try and answer, but I can't promise anything. See you guys later. Bye.